Hi, my name is Joanna. Welcome back to my channel. Basically, in this channel, we explore diverse career opportunities for high schoolers and gain insights from different careers and see what our options are. So today we have a special guest speaker. Would you please like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Jason Lee. I'm one of the hospital medicine physician in Pennsylvania, so I'm honored to come to talk to you about my career.
So what do you specialize in?
I'm a hospitalist. Basically, is a physician who mainly works in a hospital, taking care of patients with acute illness. I am different than primary care physicians who usually work in the outpatient offices. I'm also not an intensivist who usually work in the ICU. So we kind of, take care of patients with acute illness. So we are like their primary care physician when they are hospitalized, and we coordinate care with other specialists and try to get patients better, and so they can be discharged home.
Oh, okay, I see. So when did you start being interested in your career and what inspired you?
Um, Becoming a physician really started when I was in my third year of college. I actually volunteered at one of the free clinic for people without insurance. And I was a medical interpreter at the clinic, and it was just fascinating to see um, the relationships between the patients and the physicians. So that was the main trigger for me to wanting to become a physician.
So I feel like high schoolers should start like looking into volunteer opportunities or like interns to see. I think like really like the experience made you want to become a physician, right? It was really
Yep.
that experience. So I think that's what high schoolers really need. Even if just talking about it, it still sounds very vague, but when you really experience and become part of it, it really like shows you what it really is like to be in that career. So that's really cool.
Yep.
So for a physician, what is the education and degree requirement, and how many years of school did you take in total?
So to get medical degree, usually you need to complete your undergrad study, which is usually 4 years. And after that, you get into medical school, which is another 4 years. After completing the medical education, you receive your doctor degree and you complete a residency training. So for me, becoming a internal medicine, I did 3 years of residency. Now some people chose to become a specialist, so there will be additional training following that. So for me, it took me about 11 years after high school.
Wow, 11 years. That's a lot. That's a lot to commit to.
Yep.
So, what was your career pathway kind of like? Like leading up to the point where now you're a physician?
I think number one, for whatever you do, you need to have the intrinsic love for the career, for the job that you do. You certainly have the passion for what you do. You like helping people. And for physicians, I think the other important qualities it's important is the people skill that you have the ability to connect with patients and their families. There is, a big need for having good knowledge, which require you to be learning continuously. So I think you need to be willing to spend time to read and study and learn new treatments and therapies in medicine because they do change, quite frequently. So yeah, even though after becoming a doctor, you're not like you stop learning at all, and you never stop learning as a physician. So those are important. Now, working as a hospitalist, because we are getting we get so many people involved in the patient's care. So being a good team player, it's very important for hospitalists as well too. So
Yeah, so you're talking about being a team player. Can you kind of briefly describe how teamwork plays in your role as a physician?
yeah, so I mean, in different ways, as a being a team player could be meaning that you're willing to help out your other team members, meaning my colleague hospitalists, if they have any kind of unexpected family situation that they need to, leave the job a little bit early, then you're willing to help that person, and vice versa. On the other hand, for the patient care, we need to be a team player with collaborating with other physicians, other specialists, working closely with nurses and case managers and physical therapists and other you know service providers within the hospital to make sure everything is coordinated and providing the best care for the patients.
Mm.
So
Yeah, so even as a doctor, you do need teamwork skills, and it's an important skill in most careers, I would say.
yeah.
So a question that a lot of people are interested in is being a doctor or like this, your career profession. What is the starting or average salary or entry level salary for this profession?
Um, so the being a physician, of course, there are many different specialties, and
Mhm.
depends on what kind of specialty you choose to go into, and the salary can vary greatly. For example, for family medicine, and if people Google, I mean, the average salary for primary care physician usually running in a 200,000 per year. Whereas you get into more fancy specialties, will require a lot more training, a lot more experience to get to that level. So yeah, so I mean, the salary for physicians can vary, depends on what you do.
Yeah. Okay. So for high schoolers, what do you recommend high schoolers taking as courses to better prepare for your profession?
Um, I mean, basic biology course will be something interesting. I mean, math and some basic science, just to get yourself introduced to those topics, will be helpful. For myself, when I was in high school, I did take a course called Allied Health, which introduced me to anatomy and some basic physiology. Not as intense as true medical school course, but it was an introductory course for me, which was interesting for me. And I also did as part of the course, we rotated within the hospital too, and get to see some of the interactions between providers and patients.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see.
Yep.
So how does math play a role into doctor, or do you really use it, or how did that?
Yeah, we do some calculations, not intense. You don't need very advanced level of mathematics skills, but some of the conversions, medication dosage conversions, we do use the math skills.
Mm-hmm. So what do you like most about your job?
So being a hospitalist is kind of like a general medicine doctor, but taking care of patients in the acute illness situation. So being a generalist, I do get to see a variety of diseases, and my patient population is not limited to certain population, and it can be anyone that walks into the emergency room. Another great thing being a hospital medicine is different from primary care doctors who generally managing their chronic illness and providing preventive medicine treatments. We are more taking care of their acute illness, and you can see them turn around quickly. And those are just, very satisfying and rewarding to see that, what you do that, change someone's quality of life and their health. So
Mm. Yeah. So, as a physician, I can imagine you have a pretty busy schedule. So, how do you balance your work and personal life?
Um, it's challenging. You certainly need to learn how to manage your time. So not only you have to work hard at work, but you also learn how to work smart at work. So prioritize what's most important, and make it that way. When you're off, try to enjoy something that you like. Find a hobby that you like, so that way you get some uh, peace of mind when you're not working. Now, especially if you have family, try to spend as much time with the family, which it's always important for the personal reason. So those are the kind of things. So finding a enjoyable, lasting hobby, and you know intensifying the relationship with family.
So, how flexible is your schedule, or like how packed is it as a physician?
My schedule is pretty busy. Now I do have some administrative duties, so on the days I'm on clinical, I'm pretty much on clinical all day long. So my schedule usually is 10 to 13 hours per day. And on the administrative times, I do mostly administrative work. So I don't do that much clinical on my administrative days.
Mhm.
But it's still busy. It's at least 10 hours a day. So it's a busy day, but over time you just learn how to adapt to manage your schedule and know what's the priority, and do what's most important first.
Mhm. So, your days are split between administrative and clinical. Is that like assigned to you, or is it like, how does that work?
Yeah, usually it's kind of assigned when you know which days that you're going to be clinical. Usually you have a set schedule, so certain days of the week you're clinical, and these certain days of the week you're administrative. So now sometimes it can be hospital can get very busy where you need to set aside your administrative tasks and work clinically to help out the team. So.
Mhm. Yeah. I did not know that there was that division, and also you have to be easily adaptable to whatever is going on in the hospital. So
Correct.
I can imagine that this job has a lot of challenges. So can you list a few experiences and how you've overcame these challenges?
Um, so I mean, the main thing during, I guess the main challenge that we had was during the pandemic with COVID. We had a lot of sick patients, and we had busy days pretty much all the time for the 3 years. So one of the things for me was, how can I lead my team to overcome this staffing issue? Make sure we are appropriately staffed to take care of all the patients. And one of the thing is, to encouraging other providers to help out the team just by leading the team by example. So that way that if I show them that I am going to be helping the team, then that will motivate my other team members to do the same. So in the last 3-4 years, I have been throwing myself in the midst with everybody. So I do everything that they do. I don't get any special treatments, and I think that was one of the things that helped my team. That everybody is contributing to help out the team when the hospital was busy. So
Mhm.
um, yeah.
Okay, I see. Other than the COVID pandemic, which I'm sure was a big turning point and very chaotic, especially when it so suddenly came, before that or after that, what were some other like experiences you've encountered that you feel like that are really memorable to you, and how did you solve them?
Uh, Other than that, as a physician, you will you will be at times that especially in the hospital setting, right? So it's pretty common that sometimes you do end up to be the bad news giver, and you need to learn how to appropriately communicate the message to the patients and their families, and make sure they have enough preparation to receive the news and have enough support. So it is a skill that it takes some time for some people to master those skills. So it can be challenging for some of the new physicians, especially the residents, in physicians in training. So I guess when I started my residency, I also had some challenge with that. But over the years, I think I have improved and got better in terms how we deliver the news, especially giving those bad news to patients and their families.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the toughest part about being a doctor is telling the families and the patients bad news. I don't see how anyone can like deliver those news. So it takes a lot of courage and takes a lot of, I feel like, training or like I guess like experiences and countermeasures to fully develop that skill. Um,
Mhm.
so for this profession, how has the industry evolved and what trends do you foresee in the future? And especially how does the rise of technology and AI change this profession?
So healthcare has changed dramatically in the last 10, 20 years. There has been a lot more focus on providing the value, improving the value of care being provided to patients. A lot of focus on reducing medical waste, eliminating unnecessary studies and tests. And so, there is a great emphasis from high government level from CMS to emphasize improving the value of care, which means spending the least amount of money with the best outcomes. So a lot of hospitals are trying to optimize that process. Some of them are still, a lot of us are still learning new ways to improve value of care. So that will be a continuous focus for a lot of people working in the healthcare field, and also the payment system for healthcare is constantly changing, and there's a lot of always pressure from the government in terms reducing healthcare expenditures. So a lot of stress on hospitals on reducing the costs too. So that will be always be a topic that will I don't think it will ever go away.
Mhm. Yeah. So for this profession, are there any common misconceptions or myths that you would like to clarify?
Um, I guess being a hospital or being a physician, really, I think the general conception is that all the doctors are healthy and they know the tips about of how to be living longer and living healthier. That's not always the case. Physicians are also humans, and they all carry genetics like everybody else, and genes like everybody else. And if they have a bad gene or they have a bad uh, living lifestyle or habits, they can certainly get sick too and have chronic disease just like everyone else. So now they do have a little bit more knowledge about how to prevent some of the chronic illnesses, but not all physicians are all healthy.
Mhm. Yeah. So do you have any advice for high schoolers that are considering to become a physician or anything in hospital or medical care?
I would say if you want to become a healthcare um, provider, just be open-minded. When you choose to go into medicine, you may decide to pick a specialty before you truly in the profession. Um, Same with me. When I decided to become a physician, I wanted to be a PCP. But then after I did my residency training, after I did my rotations, I found inpatient medicine was more suitable for myself, and I found greater joy in that in doing inpatient medicine. So just be open-minded. Also know that it's a field that require continuous learning. So you need to be willing to learn all the time. And yeah, so that would be my suggestion to high schoolers who are interested in medicine.
That's great advice. And so for just in general, to all high school students, no matter the professions they're considering, any general advice?
No, just I would say be open-minded, be curious, and be willing to learn. That's all.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you so much for your insights.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.